Matchday 6 in the Bundesliga had everything. It had goals, drama, and a few surprises. Bayern crushed Frankfurt with Luis Díaz on fire. Leverkusen are finally finding some rhythm. Dortmund seems still stuck in gear. And Hamburger Sportsverein, they didn't just win, they made a fucking statement. Let's break down every key result, what worked, what didn't, and see what it means for the Bundesliga table. Let's start with the headliner. That's FC Bayern Munich. Well, they recorded a 3-0 away win at Eintracht Frankfurt, and Luis Díaz was absolutely unplayable. He scored inside 15 seconds. That's right, you heard me first time. 15 seconds. He assisted Harry Kane and then sealed a brace with a fucking rocket of a finish late on. Company went with a familiar gegenpressing 4-2-3-1. That's Harry Kane up front leading that press. We had Manny Neuer in goal. We had Jonathan Tah and Super Meccano, a centre-back pairing. All hail the King. King Conrad Laimer at left-back. Sacha Boey at right-back. Joshua Kimmich and LA Fitness Leon Goretzka were holding down that double pivot in midfield. And then Serge Gnabry was playing as number 10. Michael Olise on the right-hand side with that chef's kiss of a left foot. And Luis Díaz on the left. And they're all trying to feed, and they did successfully, Sir Harry Kane, England's leading international top goal scorer. The opening goal, by the way, well, that was pure vertical football. Manny Neuer launched it long, Serge Gnabry squared it inside the box, and Luis Díaz slid in from 6 yards. That was the opener. Again, after 15 seconds, Frankfurt thought they had equalised. That's not easy to say with these teeth. Jean-Matteo, can I get a Bohoya? He curled one into the top corner, but VAR ruled it out because there was a handball in Ritsu Doan's build-up. That was a shame, actually. FC Bayern then scored a second. That came from Joshua Kimmich just having the vision to pick out a pass. He picked out Diaz, who slipped the ball to his right-hand side, and it was Harry Kane then with an inside-out finish from 20 yards that was ruthless. Landed in the bottom corner, no chance for the goalkeeper. And the third, well, again, Luis Díaz, he twisted Robin Koch inside out and slammed a left-footed shot off the inside of the post. This wasn't just a win, this was a tactical flex. And Luis Díaz, well, he's not just a spark, is he? He's a system changer. FC Bayern Munich then record their 10th win under Vincent Kompany this season to win 3-0 away from home. Let's talk about Bayer Leverkusen, the work shelf hosting Union Berlin. Leverkusen, well, they're settling under new management of Kasper Hjulmand. That's 2 wins on the bounce now under their great Dane. They beat Union Berlin 2-0. That was with control and patience. 2 virtues, by the way, that are espoused. It's a nice word, isn't it? Espoused by the great Dane, Kasper Hjulmand. Hjulmand went with a 3-4-2-1 formation. Grimaldo and Vazquez. I still can't get my head around the fact that they managed to bring in Lucas Vazquez on a fucking free from Real Madrid. Anyway, Grimaldo and Vazquez were being treated as wing backs, and then you had Ernest Pocco and Malik Tiltman in midfield running between the lines. The opener, well, that came from a slick move. It was almost made in Spain. It was Alex Garcia. He picked out Vazquez. He cut it back for Ernest Pocco to score his first goal for the work self. So that was 1-0 by Leverkusen. The second then, well, that was an absolute gift. It was a howl of a mistake at the back. I can't quite recall who passed it back to Frederick Rano, but he got himself in all sorts of trouble. Rano basically just passed the ball straight out to Christian Cafane. He rounded him and tapped it into an empty net to make it 2-0. Union then sat deep, but Leverkusen, they didn't panic. They recycled the possession, they waited for overloads, and they struck when it mattered. This team, by the way, under Kasper Hjulmand, is starting to look really sharp. It's tactical mature, it's physically ready, and it's mentally focused. Bayer Leverkusen then with a 2-0 home win over Union Berlin. Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig played out a 1-1 draw. It was a tactical tug-of-war. Leipzig, well, they struck first in the 7th minute. Seawald, he went vertical. Udrago, I'm going with that one. Yeah, Udrago, once upon a time was a FM24 wonder kid, by the way. He knocked it down, and Christian Baumgartner, we like him, the Austrian, he lashed it home with I think it was the outside of his right foot. That, like I said, that was in the 7th minute. Dortmund then hit back, but it took until the 23rd minute. Maxi Bayer broke in, well, he went around the back of the Leipzig defence, broke into the box, managed to cut it back by sort of flicking it with the outside of his right boot. It fell to Serhou Guirassy, who had the intelligence just to look to his right, laid it off to Jan Couto, and the first time strike just took a slight deflection off the Leipzig goal scorer Baumgartner, and it found its way into the bottom corner, and that was 1-1. That's pretty much how it stayed, actually. Both keepers, Gregory Swiss Kerbal and Peter Glassie, last season's Golden Glove winner, by the way, 14 clean sheets off the top of my dome. Well, both those keepers made big saves to keep the scoreline level. Dortmund lined up with a 3-4-3. That was Kuta, Sabitzer and Nemecha, by the way. That's Luke, not Felix, because the other way around, sorry. Felix, because Lucas, he's playing for Leeds of... Is it the Midlands? Is that what we said? Looks like I'm doing the Agadoo there. Anyway, well, yes, one more time. Sabitzer and Felix Nemecha, well, they ran the transitions, and Karim Adeyemi and Maxi Bayer stretched the back line, of course. African ultimate bagsman up front, Serhou Guirassy. Leipzig, well, they used a 4-3-3. That's under Oli Werner. Baumgartner, Christian Baumgartner, who did eventually score the goal. Johan Bakayoko, keep an eye out for him as the season progresses. And Udrago were pressing wide. Jurb, Bellingham and Julian Brandt, we like him, don't we, Gonzo? Yeah, they added late energy to this game, but it was Leipzig's midfield, especially Seawald and that man again for the 5th mention so far in this video. Is it 5 or maybe 6? Anyway, Christian Baumgartner, him and Seawald, well, they held firm in that Leipzig midfield. It was intense, it was physical, and it was evenly matched. But for Dortmund, though, that's another fucking draw in a game that they really should have won. They had the tempo controlled and they had the midfield balance, but something is still holding back Niko Kovac's side. That game then, yeah, ended 1-1. I think I might have mentioned that. Hamburger Sports Verein, well, they hosted and absolutely smashed Mainz. Yeah, it's not working out well for Mainz this season, is it? It feels like they are missing their talisman, Jonathan Breakout. Hamburger, well, they made a statement, as we said, 4-0 over Mainz, and it could have been a lot more, to be fair. Hamburger Sports fan, well, they pressed high, they forced errors, and they transitioned with lightning speed. Goals came from Lukongu. He used to play for Arsenal, didn't he, Gonzo, once upon a time? That's right, didn't really get a chance, and he's played all around the championship. Anyway, back to this game. Lukongu, Dompe, and there was a brace from, not the actor, but from Ryan Philippe. He was electric, by the way, on that cutting on that right-hand side. Dompe's goal, please check it out on Ask Jeeves or Instagram or maybe even on YouTube, A rocket into the roof of the net from a tight angle. Ryan Philippe and a 9.1 match rating. Let's clap that in, people. He was everywhere.
Love that.
Not on the big screen, no. And Hamburger Sports Ryan's midfield, well, they pressed together in pairs. The fullbacks overlapped and the centre-backs stepped into midfield to compress the space. Mainz, well, just couldn't hit back, really. This wasn't survival football. It was confident, proactive, and it was tactically sound. If Hamburger Sports Ryan keep this up, they're not just staying up, they're going to be pushing for mid-table. And who would have seen that coming at the start of this season from Magic Merlin Poulsen and his paper round, because he looks quite young. Anyway, Hamburger Sportsverein back in the Bundesliga after a 7-year hiatus. Absolutely smashed Bo Henriksen's Mainz 4-0. VfB Stuttgart, well, they edged... I can never remember which round it is. They edged Frank Schmidt's Heidenheim in a rain-soaked Schwabian derby. The winner, that came from Bilal El Kanoussi. He's on loan from Leicester City, the baby squad. He danced past 2 defenders and buried a low shot in the 65th minute. Like we say, that was for a 1-0 crucial win. Sebastian Hoeneß, well, he rotated his formation. That was after a defeat against Bâle. He brought in Big Jeff the double fridge, Big Jeff Chabot, Atizan, Kalizar and El Kanous, again on loan from the baby squad of Leicester City. Heidenheim, well, they are still without a win away from home this season. They just couldn't break Stuttgart's shape, just couldn't do it. That's 3 straight home clean sheets now for VfB Stuttgart. That's their best ever run since Christoph Daum, since he was in charge during that era, and they're now inside the top 4. And El Kanous, well, he's proven so far to be one of the sharpest loan signings in the Bundesliga this season. Sandro Wagner's Augsburg snapped a 4-game straight losing streak with a 3-1 home win over the Wolves of Wolfsburg. And 18-year-old Mert Kermer, he stole the show. Look out for him on Football Manager 24 and maybe soon Football Manager 26.
Spoiler!
Mert Kermer scored, assisted, and he managed to cover 12k in an absolute breakout performance. His goals then, the goals came in the 3rd minute. Kermer's short corner found Noah Kai Banks, who smashed home his first professional goal. In the 51st minute, Kermer was involved again. He doubled the lead. It was a calm finish after a driving run and a cutback from Krizlan Matsima. Everyone who wants a piece of Krizlan Matsima, the tall defender. And on the 63rd minute, Robin Fellhauer, what a name, he rounded it off, making it 3-0. He finished off a cutback from Fabian Rieder. Wolfsburg did pull a goal back through Adam Dachim, assisted by Mohamed Amoure, but Augsburg's defence, well, they held firm. Finn Darman was also solid in goal for Augsburg, and Rieder, who was the most pressed player on the pitch, not a worry though, was it? He controlled the tempo. This was Augsburg's first home win of the season, and it might just be the start of something bigger for Sandro Wagner. Augsburg then in Bavaria with a 3-1 home win over the lame Wolves. Here's some rapid fire other results to finish us off then. Werder Bremen will be happy. That was a 1-0 win against St. Pauli. It was an early goal from ex-Juventus winger Samuel Umbangalu after a high press turnover. Jens Stark and Sene Leinen bossed the midfield. St. Pauli, well, they had more possession, but they just couldn't break Werder Bremen down. Werder Bremen win that game 1-0. FC Köln in it, doing it again. FC Köln with a win on Freitag, a Friday night win. They beat Hoffenheim 1-0. Said El Mala scored a solo stunner. Please go and check that one out wherever you get your video content from. He slalomed through the box and slotted a shot under Deutschland's number 1, Oliver Baumann. FC Köln's back 5 absorbed all the pressure, but Swabia made key saves. That's 3 straight home defeats now for Christian Ilz's Hoffenheim. What's going to happen to him? FC Köln now, get this, sitting at Conference League spot. Who saw that coming at the start of this season? And then the strugglers then, without a permanent manager at the minute, aren't they? Borussia Monchengladbach hosting SC Freiburg. Freiburg were looking a little bit tired because, of course, they played in the Europa League on the Thursday beforehand. It was goalless, but pretty tense. Let's give some credit, though, to Noah Atabulo, FC Freiburg's keeper, the keeper of dreams. He made 6 saves. 6 saves, that's right, including multiple reflex stops from Florian Neuhaus, that's right. Just had a mental block there. Florian Neuhaus, who's back in the Gladbach starting 11. Freiburg dominated possession, but just couldn't break their way through. Gladbach held firm and earned a much-needed clean sheet. Let's have a look at the Bundesliga table after Matchday 6 to see what all those results actually mean. As we can see, FC Bayern, well, they're leading with authority. They're on 18 points and a plus 22. Fucking hell. Plus 22 goal difference. Dortmund will feel like they dropped 2 points at home to Leipzig. They're in second on 14. Leipzig again, they were on the other end of, well, they'll probably look at that and go, well, yeah, okay, we'll take a point. They're in third on 13 points with an even 0 goal difference. Stuttgart and Augsburg, they're punching above their weight. Stuttgart into fourth on 12 points. Leverkusen are rising fast. They're in fifth with 11 points. And FC Köln, they are grinding out results. What a fabulous season so far. As we said in our review, up into 6th place. That's a Conference League position. Can we see them finishing there at the end of the season? Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Down at the bottom then, it's not looking good at all for Frank Schmidt's Heidenheim. They are literally bottom, 18th place with 3 points. Gladbach, well, they're floundering, although they did manage a goalless draw against Freiburg. They're in 17th on 3 points. And then it's Mainz. It's Bo Henriksen's Mainz. They're in 16th, which of course is that relegation playoff spot game. They have only got 4 points and a -5 goal difference after 6 games. Who impressed you the most on this weekend? You know what you can do, don't you? You know what you can do? You can drop your comments down there below. Let's get into it. Let's get a dialogue going, people. And if you want tactical breakdowns, transfer insights, well, during the window especially, and match day reactions to the Bundesliga every single week, you know what you can do as well, don't you? You can smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to give this video a like, because that'll help the algorithm find more footballing aficionados, whether you care about the Bundesliga or you just like my style. Yeah, smash that like as well as the subscribe. It'll get this video out to more people and we can all grow together. Don't go anywhere just yet though. Eyes up here. Here's a Bundesliga playlist for you to watch whenever it suits you. And as ever, thank you for showing up as you do with your eyes every single video. Don't forget this playlist.